Describe a situation in which you had to use reference materials to write a research paper. What was the topic and what journals did you read? There are posts that I wrote online, and topics in many cases are society issues. And as many people today, I use internet to do such research, but I combine it with the first-hand experience in the field. Yeah. On the other hand, my vast life experience is serving me well, and what can be considered more closely considered a job-related research paper. That would be I made a multiple in between everything else. I made multiple versions of fundings plan for a company startup. Yeah, and then other research I did about materials that will be used in my project. And we have so much technology today and so many materials, and it's really enjoyable to do. For me, it was very enjoyable to do this research, but I found some things where we should do really better, as let's say using clean technologies and using sustainable materials is not where it should be. The level of it is not where it should be. I found that sheep wool, sheep wool is one of the most sustainable materials, and we can use it in the building. And there is some companies that make actually wool for insulation, heat and cold insulation in wool. But it's a bit more pricey than, I don't know, styrofoam or rock wool or others. Yeah, but I think from how I think it's better to use that, even like that. But then not only that, I found a guy in Croatia, entrepreneur, who invented, because the process method of getting that wool ready to be a building material is expensive. And then the guy, entrepreneur in Croatia, found a method which can prepare that wool for only 10% of the price of the other method. Yeah. But what's happening in Croatia, the entrepreneurial environment is not very good. As I saw just now, a scale where from 60 countries we're on the place of 58. And that's very bad. And maybe I shouldn't be talking about this in this interview, as I'm trying to find partners, investors to come here to do some business. But I think it's important to be honest and to tell how things are. And it's not all bad. People are doing businesses here, but it is quite tricky. I've seen a professor, Pavuna, he was advisor in a big company like Samsung. And Samsung is not making only phones and TVs. They're making like everything, from TVs and phones and appliances to building buildings. And well, I don't agree with that part of industry they're in, as they are building weapons also, producing. On some level, weapons are necessary, but we should all look how to bring that down. Yeah. Anyway, he was saying, he was on TV, and I saw that interview, and he was saying that entrepreneurial environment in Croatia is bad. And we have so many people, our people, Croatians, who are great entrepreneurs, and we drive them away. Yeah. He said, people come here and then sabotages their habit. Yeah, I experienced something like that. And then TV speaker tell him, but who's gonna pay those people? Like, they're too expensive. They, you know, in America they're gonna offer them millions. Yeah, he said, they don't want, you know, they're gonna feel joy to work in their country for the people. But we need to talk to them and to treat them well. And we're gonna find a solution. Yeah. And when we are with eco-friendly materials and environmental environment in Croatia, entrepreneurial environment. Končar is one big company in Croatia, which is a technology company, and I had a guy here, and at the time I was doing that research about clean technologies, and well, somehow that guy came, and we were talking about Končar is making the wind turbines for producing electricity, and we didn't get far because I was already on the photovoltaic cells, which were more environmentally friendly, from what I found out. And as those wind turbines that they make, they use a lot of oil. I couldn't get to an answer. How much oil are they spending, those turbines? But anyway, yeah. Now now there is a technology which so many nice things and stuff, as they're producing electricity with technology that works on tide of the sea, or on the currents in the water, or wind like they made the technology which only wire is spread across two poles, and then that wire, just the vibrations from the wind are producing electricity. That's so cool. And yeah, another Croatian Serbo-Croatian like me, kind of like me, as he's Serb, but he was born and in Croatia. Yeah, little village, 2-hour drive from here. Nikola Tesla. Surely many people heard of him. And he was also not in our country. Okay, that was some time ago. But even today, we don't praise him as much as some other people. As US has a company in California. Yeah, Elon Musk is the CEO of it, and they're the biggest electric car maker in the world. They made a couple of nice electric cars. They started with a 2-seater, and then there was first a Tesla S, which had first car that had normal range on a battery, 500 or 600 kilometers range on a battery, and that was Tesla S. Then last year they shipped out Tesla X, which was an SUV, same range, and it could drive 7 passengers. Then this year in March they presented Tesla 3, which is the others were like 100,000 euros or dollars. Well, depends on the model. They had different prices, but around that price. And Tesla 3 will be shipping next year, and it's gonna cost $30,000. Yeah. So we're there with electric cars. And many companies today, they're making electric cars. Volkswagen, Ford, every company maker, almost every company maker has some electric car or hybrid, which is close enough. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, research and environment. in Croatia. People in Croatia, we need to shape up, guys. Entrepreneurs in the world are held like a little water on the palm, because that's what's driving economy forward, and that's what's building better life. Yeah. And about clean technologies and sustainability, what I've experienced, other people's minds, that they are very afraid of free things. Those things are not free. You need to still have to pay and work for them. And when let's think like this. Instead of having a mind that is we have to work and pay bills all our life, why did we don't make a mindset that let's reach a certain decent level of living and then work for other people? As there is too many people in the world still who don't have roofs over their heads, or they don't have even medicine and schools and education and even human rights. So I think that as a humanity we are there already, but we need to switch that thinking. Many people are living to pay their bills, and we should change that. As today resources and technology is going to allow us to live on a better level and to help others. Not to help others as, this Caritas and UNICEF. Okay, we need to help people who don't have to eat food, but we cannot. We should be educated. We should be putting more money and resources into education, so those people can deserve themselves the lives of a human, and not to just be, dropping food from airplanes, because that's like putting a patch on a ripped vein. Ripped vein needs surgery. Yeah. Anyway.